just tell me a bit about yourself?
Okay, I'm Drew. I'm doing my PhD at Strathclyde. It's part funded by mechanical engineering and part funded by the MRL. So I spend a fair bit of time in here doing testing and such. It was a self-generated PhD that I proposed to my materials lecturer at the time. They very kindly helped me get to this point. They helped me sort of develop the idea and turn it into a PhD. So I'm really lucky to be where I am at the moment and doing this. It's great fun. Yeah, I don't know what would you like me to go over in that sense.
Well, if we go back to the beginning, what brought you originally into engineering? So back before university.
Okay, so I've always been sort of I've been quite a tinkerer and such. I've enjoyed, inventing things in my head and making things with my hands and I was always good at science at school, so engineering seemed like a good fit. Mechanical engineering was my choice of undergrad, and it was very, I enjoyed it as a degree. And it's kind of, I don't know, it always seemed to feel like the right avenue for me.
Well, that's good. Okay, and then what year are you in of your PhD now then?
So rather scarily, I'm coming to the end of my second year.
Oh, wow.
I know COVID has sort of warped our perceptions of time a bit here, but yeah, I'm at the end of my second year, which is, yeah.
It's crazy. But then, so how's your experience been? How's your experience been with the AMRL and doing your PhD?
It's been really great. Everybody's very helpful. It's a great sort of space. There's lots of resources for doing the things I need to do. So, as I said earlier, I brought this in as a self-generated idea, and it's sort of the resources and capabilities that are here that have allowed me to really investigate my idea, which was this novel manufacturing method. So I've been able to sort of create a prototype of the method, and now I'm characterizing the results. I'm looking at, microstructure of the materials, mechanical properties. There's a lot of really good stuff that you can do here.
So where did this idea come from? Where you're at the idea of your PhD?
It's actually kind of a funny story. I was talking to a friend, and they showed me this material which is used in aerospace applications. It's called isogrid. And I had a look at it, and he was discussing it because he'd come across it and thought it was interesting. It's just one of those engineering conversations. Mm-hmm. And I asked how they made it, and I thought, well, do they roll it? That seems like the obvious way for me that they would make it. And we looked it up, and they don't. And so it was a little moment where I was talking with somebody and just what I thought, oh, that's surely how it's done. And it wasn't. So I thought, oh well, if it's not done, I'd better make that happen.
That's so interesting. So how has it been? Like, what has been a highlight of your PhD, I should say?
Okay, definitely it's when you start to see the first ever results, because again, it was a new thing, so I wasn't sure how it was going to go. Mm-hmm. I believed it would work, but there was a few people who were a little bit skeptical. And that first time that we rolled aluminium between the rollers and the new machine, when it came out with the pattern all nicely put into it, and thought, actually, no, this is going to work. And similar feeling the first time you see the picture of the microstructure come out, or you see the graph from the mechanical testing, you're like, actually, okay, no, this is worth doing, getting good results. That first affirmation that things are going right, definitely.
And have there been any sort of particular challenges?
I mean, you can see it on my face here. It's COVID has been, because I'm an experimental PhD, so it's been challenging with access restrictions over the lockdowns and such, but it's been good because I've been able to get in as an experimentalist. When I was allowed back in and keep things moving. But yeah, COVID has been immensely challenging compared to any given year without it. So
it's so frustrating, but at least I think having a reason, like you have a reason to actually be within the university. Like I found working from home, finishing university, just so frustrating. Like not being able to go in and see your friends or even like physically do things, because my dissertation was meant to be practical, but the MRL just did all the work remotely for us, which was incredible. But it was just a shame not being able to just like pop stuff and actually do it yourself.
yeah,
But
no, that makes a lot of sense.
it's just sort of making the best of the situation. Like nobody was prepared for this, but it's
And
nice
it's
to
not
see.
something that,
So.
yeah, it's not something you can particularly. We can't change it now. You just have to absolutely make the best of it, as you say.
And do you have anything to say just in general about working with the MRL?
I've always found it to be very, very friendly and helpful. It's a nice little community. Everybody's able to bounce ideas off each other, and you can get help. And it's not just the physical space and the equipment; it's also the expertise of the people around you. You can strategize with them, and there's a nice community feel to it in here as well.